Well, I've had a piece of chicken. I've had a little drink. I've looked at all the girls, given one or two a wink. I'm sitting in my seat, radio to my ear, the Star-Spangled Banner, and the crowd's opening cheer. I've been waiting since last Saturday, see another one beat. Friends, it's time once again to let the big dog eat. It's time to let the big dog eat. It's time to hear the bulldog beat. It's time. 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 The leaves are red and black. It's time. It's time to bring the bulldogs back. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. I love to go back to Athens town. I love to jump up when they hunker down. I love to see the red coat spell the name. I love to talk about that bulldog thing. It's time to get the bulldog grin with 75,000 of your closest friends. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time.
Hunker down, Harry Dog. Hunker down for a fight. All right. Are we good? Are we good? We have some audio
Testing
this time,
1, 2,
Adam.
3. Testing. Do we got some audio?
Y'all let us know in the comments if you can hear us. Randy Callahan, go Dogs.
Let's go.
Welcome, everybody, to Row 60. Not the podcast tonight, the live call-in show. This is the second time we're doing this. Thought it would be a better time to do it than next week because Auburn is just trash.
I tell you, Clark, live call-in shows. When we do live call-in shows, that means that it is close to a very big Georgia football game. Top 10 matchup, the second top 10 matchup of the year. So everybody's going to have to get jacked up because Arkansas is coming to town. Unbelievably, that they're ranked 8th in the nation.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Who would have thought at the beginning of the season? I don't think either one of us did.
Man.
Man, there's a lot to talk about. We do want to listen to you guys. We want to hear from y'all. We're about to open up our lines here in just a minute. But before we do, that number to call is 706-389-5942. You can find it at the bottom of your screen right there. It will be kind of scrolling the entire night. All right, so keep it relevant. We don't mind talking about other teams. I mean, we want to talk about Clemson football and how bad they have looked the past.
That's right. Anything about college football, because it's changed a whole lot. The whole demographic of college football has changed since the last time we were here, Clark, talking ball with everybody. And we want to hear everybody's opinion. Let's talk about the Dogs. Talk about what you think we're going to see Saturday, what the expectations are for the rest of the year, and what your thoughts have been the first 4 games of the season.
Right.
So couldn't have started out any better.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. What's your feeling sitting here tonight, this Thursday night? It's not Friday. I got to get that in my mind. Sitting here this Thursday night, what do you think we're going to see on Saturday as far as our offensive game plan and what will our defense? I know we're going to be tested. How are we going to
I tell you, Clark, my defense, I feel really good about that side of the football. Offense, Arkansas likes to run a 3-3-5 defense. Barry Odom runs that, so 3 down linemen. And you have to run the football. We're going to have to run the football to be successful.
That's right. Let's take our first call. We got Strawberry, my good buddy from Atlanta. Strawberry, what's up, man?
Strawberry.
How's your mom and them?
Oh, everybody's doing good on this way, Strawberry. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. It's good to see y'all.
Good to see you.
I'm not a Georgia fan, but I'm watching it.
Hey, there we go. We just love the support. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
I just want to say I love you guys. Enjoy it. Get to work.
Strawberry, hold on.
Wait a minute.
We want to talk to you.
Who's your favorite team?
Y'all know who my favorite team is. I don't got to say nothing.
Are you too embarrassed to say that on live?
No,
live
TV? I will say it. I bleed orange.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
Man. Through the rotten years, I bleed orange.
Hey, look, I'll give it to you, man. Y'all have one of the most loyal fan bases, I think, in the SEC. So, I mean, if anybody can sit through and endure a loss to Georgia State and some of these nobodies and still show up, you know, I mean,
that's right.
That's right.
That's exactly right. So, and Neyland could get rocking. It could get rocking during the good times for sure.
It's a beautiful place, ain't it?
Yes, sir. It's a fun environment.
It's gonna be good for church. It's gonna be good for church up there too, right?
There you go.
True.
That's
right.
That's
true.
That's right.
Eric Church coming to town, Knoxville.
That's gonna be
a good time right there. So,
all right, boys. Y'all have a good night. Cheers.
Strawberry, appreciate it, brother.
Love y'all.
Love you.
Bye.
Good deal. Love hearing from Strawberry like that. So people, but I think we're going to have to run the football, Clark. Better than we have the whole entire year. When you have a 3-man front, they're begging you to run the football.
Sure.
They're saying that you're not going to beat us through the air because we're going to have 5 DBs.
Exactly.
So, and it's almost disrespectful to your run game if they do stop you with a 3-man front.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to pound the football, especially on the inside and between the tackles and the A-gaps.
Right.
That's something we hadn't done well all year. Mm-hmm. So this is the time that we got to step up.
Yeah.
The guards step up, and let's pound the football. Let's run the football. That's going to be the game plan on Saturday. And what's going to be the difference between, I think, a close game and a tight game is our ability to run the football, have 5 or 6 yards per pop, and hit them in the mouth.
Right. Yeah, you're exactly right.
Dang right.
All right, we do have
Get back to the bread and butter, baby.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Ball.
That's it. So we got an open line. If you'd like to call us, please do. We'll talk any kind of football. Yeah.
How you feeling about it right now?
I'm feeling good, Adam. I think we're getting a call.
Here we go. Who we got?
Hold up just a second. All right. Welcome to Row 60. Who we got? Oh, hold up. I got you.
Sorry. Here we go. Go ahead. Who we talking to? Khalil. What are you doing?
We're at the football game.
I hear you.
You're at the football game.
At a middle school? Who won? Franklin County win?
We won 24 to nothing.
Good.
I'm getting
Franklin County Lions won.
Yes,
24 to nothing. Good. Khalil, tell me, what are the Georgia Bulldogs going to do Saturday?
They're gonna be like I was gonna say that it would be like the Georgia Clemson game.
It's going to be like the Georgia Clemson game.
But it wasn't more better.
Okay,
there we go. Do you have a score prediction for us, Khalil?
What?
Do you have a score prediction for us? What do you think the score is going to be?
Georgia?
Yes?
4,000 to zip.
4,000 to zip.
Nothing. I hear you, Khalil.
Khalil, I'll listen, buddy. If we win 4,000 to nothing, I will personally give you $4,000. All right, you can put it towards your college
You
fund.
don't have $4,000.
You're right. I don't have $4,000. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's a good point.
Why
Oh
don't
man.
you
Good point.
just tell Odom to Why don't you just get
Oh man. All right, cool.
Khalil.
He's ready to practice his vowel sounds with you on Thursday.
Good,
Yes,
good,
yes.
good. Well, yes, Khalil, before you go to bed tonight, yell really loud and get excited. It don't matter what time, as long as you can all night, get excited and practice
Right.
your bark.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
There we go. Love it.
Great job. Thanks for calling us.
Good family time right there.
We'll see y'all
Good
Saturday.
raising. We'll see you on Saturday. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Love hearing from the children.
Gotta
From
love
the kids.
it. Gotta love it.
I used to call Larry Munson back in the day.
Did you really?
When I was a child, yeah. It was an old stereo speaker, big speaker on it. It was a Sunday night calling show that he'd have. He'd be on there some. So boy, those were the golden years, mate. Did you by chance listen to that Kenny Chesney documentary of what More Than a Voice on
Yeah,
SEC
Adam,
Network?
I'm gonna
It
tell you
gave
something.
me chill bumps,
I'm not
man.
even kidding. I cried.
Oh, I cried too. I cried too. When they got to Munson, I just teared up
Yep.
because, you'll never have that anymore. And that was a beauty of college. And even those other teams, those guys like at Tennessee, John Ward and Jack Crystal at Mississippi State, I mean, it shows that down here in this region, in the South, people outside of our bubble down here think we're absolutely crazy with how much we obsess over this sport.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's a cultural thing that if you don't live it, you don't understand.
That's true. That's true. I mean, it is almost akin to a religion down here. I
Oh,
mean,
it
as
is.
bad as that kind
It
of sounds,
is.
but just a lot of dedication, a lot of time and energy and effort spent going to these games and supporting these dogs.
That's right. And what I loved about Munson is there was no professionalism about
No,
him. He was
no.
just going to say what needed to be said, just come up with in a true homer,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what you want to see in your guy who's calling.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
there's not going to be random fans of other teams listening to Georgia Bulldog Radio Network. I want my radio announcer to be cheering for Georgia and to
Exactly.
show that he loves
That's right.
Georgia, and he cares if that boy's going to put it across the plane more than I do.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
I
what
mean,
makes it beautiful, man. So-
That's what we're trying to aspire to be. We want to be the next Larry Munson. Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, Paul Feinbaum, if you're listening, which I'm sure
Coming
he is.
for
I
him.
mean, come on now,
Coming
we're coming
for
for you. So,
Yep. That's it. Coming for.
oh man, well this.
I'm telling you.
Speaking of the podcast, Adam, gotten a lot of viewership, a lot of listens, and we do
That's
appreciate
good.
that.
Yes, we do appreciate everybody our support or supporting us.
Yeah, yeah. We didn't think anybody would actually listen to us.
Yes, and it's about y'all because what this is a fan-based show.
Mm-hmm.
We're not the most knowledgeable about football. We're not. We never played Division I football. We've never been a sports writer or journalist inside
Right.
the locker room with all. Well, you've been inside of it with the
it's-
film, but covering these guys. This is truly fan-based and it's passionate, and we're just gonna let it all out.
Yeah.
and that's why we want to do this. Is we want to open it up to let it all out with us and tell us what you think. So call us.
Right.
Call
Yeah.
us, man. Let's talk about it.
Got an open line, Jack, my little cousin. Score prediction: Georgia
Love
wins
it, Jack.
35-7.
Love it, Jack. That's good.
score.
That's good.
That score, I think, didn't South Carolina beat us 35-7 in Columbia in 2012? Smacked
like
us
that.
something
I
like
try not to remember
34-7.
that game.
I know, but hopefully that's kind of the same outcome,
Right.
where they come in
Right.
and they Arkansas is a good football team. I don't think anybody's denying that. But how much have they been challenged this year? I don't know.
And let's talk about this. Let's talk about this right now. Since we have a kind of a deal we go by during our podcast that we cover, try to hit. But like now we have free time. Let's talk about the state of college football right now.
Yeah.
There is not a team so far that stood out, and Georgia could potentially do it, like 2018 Clemson, 2019 LSU, or 2020 Alabama.
Right.
Is there those elite offenses right now? Is it coming back, Clark, that the SEC in particular, or college football, is a line of scrimmage league, truly? Because, our preseason talk about it was you got to have the playmakers on the outside, the wide receivers, and be able to just score at will. But this year, some of these offenses.
You look at Clemson, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
All these Ryan Day up at Ohio State, they're not clicking. They're not clicking. And really, who's the best quarterback out there? There's not an elite level play of quarterback going on in college football right now. Sam Howell was up there at North Carolina. They got blasted by Georgia Tech.
Yeah, you could argue Bryce Young maybe.
Spencer Rattler. Yeah, Bryce Young, and who's he play? Tell us in the comment, who is the best quarterback right now in college football?
Let me type that in there. Who
is it? Matt Corral? Honestly, I think but he hadn't really played anybody, but that could all change Saturday night. We might know between him and Bryce Young.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. The Heisman talk has really it's different than what it was, because everybody and their brother was thinking DJ
Uyunglele.
I thought I was done saying his name, but here I am, week 5, still saying it. But man, the Heisman picture's changed. Yeah, you're right. The whole landscape of college football is just totally different. Who would have thought Ohio State would be ranked number 11th week 5? Who would have thought Clemson would have been ranked number 25?
Yeah.
Behind Wake Forest and NC State. It's just wow.
Oklahoma looks very pedestrian. Very pedestrian. Yeah. They are very pedestrian in the sense of just really squeak by. I mean, really didn't look that good against West Virginia.
Right.
Did not look good against West Virginia at all the other night. So, really, who is the elite? I think it's Georgia, and that's not a homer opinion, Clark. You could argue Alabama or Georgia.
Yeah.
Or Alabama or Georgia, and then everybody else behind it. Oregon, I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see about them. We'll also see about Notre Dame and Cincinnati.
Yeah.
That could potentially be like we mentioned in our podcast, that could be a play-in game.
It could.
Potentially.
And, I think that's what it could be. And honestly, my dream playoff scenario would be Georgia, Oregon, winner of Cincinnati, and Notre Dame. And then Oklahoma. Just let them go ahead and – because, shoot.
Right.
I'd love to see Georgia play Oklahoma again right now. I mean, the thing is, what we're seeing with this Georgia team, y'all, what you need to realize is, back years ago when we would play a big game, a top 10 game, whether it was Florida, Alabama, whoever, we would think and we would sit there realistically and say, we have a chance to win this football game. But it said to win the football game, we need to have a bounce go our way. We need to have this guy maybe, God forbid, but if they are injured, this guy that's not playing for the other team, or they have to play their B+ game, and we got to play our A+ game, not have any mistakes on penalties, turnovers, anything to win. Now it's honestly, as long as we show up and Georgia plays their A game, then there's nobody in the country, including Alabama, who's going to beat Georgia's A+ game.
That's a statement.
That's where we're at now as a program and what people need to get excited about. And that's where I feel like Arkansas is trying to build. And Arkansas coming in Saturday is going to be like where I think we've been in the past, unrealistically getting hyped up that, there's a chance to win.
Yeah.
But the talent's not there on their side, even if they play their A+ game. And if we play our A+ game, if Georgia does, then Georgia's still going to win by a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, so
as you were mentioning today, Adam, on the phone, we got to talking, but Georgia's A+ game is going to be, you're right, anybody, maybe not Alabama, I don't know, and that's up for debate. But as long as we play A+ football, we bring our best each Saturday. I don't see us losing. And like you were saying, that's not a homer opinion. That is us looking at it as objectively as we possibly can. So,
Chris saying you're right. Chris saying the quarterback at Fresno State. That's a good call. That's a good call. I was listening to actually something today. They were talking about Jake. They were talking about also a quarterback at Pittsburgh, Trickett. Pickett.
Okay.
That he's been playing well too. I mean, putting up just if he played on an actual elite football team right now, besides a team that gets beat by Western Michigan, he would probably be in the Heisman conversation.
At Jamie Newman.
Jack, I agree. Matt Corral and Bryce Young, I agree. Yep, they're good. They're good. So.
Matt Corral, he's lighting it up, and that's going to be an interesting matchup tomorrow. Hey, by the way, we do have an open line. We are talking. Call in if you'd like. But man, I tell you, Matt Corral, they've looked decent. I don't know if you can realistically say though Ole Miss tomorrow is going to go in there and win. I just don't.
It's very interesting to me. That game is very interesting to me in the sense that I don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Because it looks like Ole Miss has kind of developed a little bit of a pulse on defense, and that's what really held them back last year. Yeah. And it looks like the offense is still clicking like it is and will be under Lane Kiffin because, like him or not, he is a brilliant offensive mind.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Sure.
Brilliant.
Sure.
I mean, Saban will give him credit for a lot of the change at Alabama that they've made to a modern offense and approach to the game was from Kiffin. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what will happen. I mean, I'll be honest. I'll be scared if Georgia had to play Ole Miss.
Yeah,
that kind of offense is, even you think about 19. This defense is better than the 19 defense. Okay,
and that was a good team.
and it was a good defense.
We're getting a call. Let's take that right quick. All right. Getting a 470 number.
Give it to us. Who?
Welcome to Row 60. Who do we got?
Adam.
Yes, sir.
Adam, Micah Bennett. How are you, buddy?
Oh, doing good. How you doing?
You need some audio.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Audio's not working, man.
Audio's not working. Oh,
no, your arm. Yeah, nobody can hear it, man.
Oh, well, we gotta change that then.
Nobody can hear us.
That's right, brother. I just see talking heads right now.
Really, nobody can hear us right now.
Can anybody hear us out there? Sure. Nobody's mentioned it in the comments, so I don't know.
I don't know what's going on. We hadn't heard.
There was a couple guys that said it, and I couldn't hear you either.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Oh,
yeah.
Dang. Well, okay.
So we got
some people saying they hear us.
Listen,
with technology these days, right? You can't rely on it. You know, that's just where we're at in the world. You can't rely on it. You know, so it's crazy. But tell us what you think about the Dogs Saturday. That's what are the Dogs going to roll Saturday?
I think we're going to do it. Here's my big thing, man.
All right, give it to us.
I've come to realize this, man. There is one game. All these other games we're playing do not matter.
Right.
You know the game.
Right.
The Alabama game.
Yes, sir.
We have to win that. Yeah. All the other games aside. That's it.
You're right. It feels like to get where we want to be, for Kirby to take the next step, for the program to take the next step, it's to slay the giant, right? I mean, to kill the king. Just beat Alabama.
That's right.
Beat Alabama.
That's right.
And you know,
David and Goliath all day.
That's right. So it's just like that. You feel like to make this the dream season, Alabama Clark has to be in the path somewhere to slay.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
it can be doing this.
The crazy thing is, we're probably going to see them twice. I mean,
realistically, you could if they don't get beat this year. I mean, you will. Yeah. And man, how about Micah? That would be a dream scenario, would it not? To beat Alabama 2 times en route to a national championship. That would that would do something to Nick Saban. I don't know if he'd make it. He might just have a heart attack on the field after the second loss if Kirby Smart beat him 2 times in a year. Woo, man, that'd be great.
I just think it's difficult because if you think about it, every coach that's left Saban, none of them's beat him.
That's right.
It's true.
That's right. It's something like it's in the 20s. I know he is against them, and he'll have another chance. And you want Kirby. You feel like Kirby is the most deserving and who has played Saban the best multiple times as a head coach to be the one that beats him first.
Yeah.
And and that's what a lot of people are saying, that Kiffin might beat him Saturday, and it might happen. I don't know, but I hope Kirby is the first one to do it. I really do. So
right. Indeed.
We'll see.
Exactly.
We'll see. So, but you're right.
Good, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, it's good hearing from you. Appreciate your support and calling in.
I enjoy the show, man. It's great. You gotta get Michaela's uncle to call in and talk to you guys.
All right, we'll do it. We'll get her to get them in then. But yes, sir, Mr. Michael, we appreciate you calling in, the support, and hearing from you. And be loud Saturday for the Dogs.
We'll do it, brother.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yes, sir. Y'all be safe. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.
All right.
I mean, that's a good point, Clark. I mean,
getting another call. Let's roll.
Let's keep rolling with the calls. Call us back.
Call us back.
Zachary B. Rogers, he loves the show. Keep up the great work. Go Dogs, beat Arkansas. Yes, sir, brother. But you're right. Would you feel what if? All right. So now, hypothetical scenario: we play Ole Miss in the SEC championship. Georgia plays Ole Miss, beats Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. But then, dang, if Alabama has one loss, of course they're going to get in the playoff. We've seen it before. Even if they don't win the West, they're going to get in there. So you might play them then. But what if it is a route that you play the whole year, win a national championship without going through Saban? Obviously, we'll take it, and obviously it'll be. But don't you agree that it would just be the cherry on top?
It would be. It'd be awesome.
It'd be the cherry on top.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing, and I've heard this too from people. The one thing that they want to elevate Kirby Smart to elite status. I mean, he's elite. He's a great college football coach. Absolutely is when he slays Saban.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the hand in passing off of the torch. I truly think when Kirby gets the monkey off his back of beating Saban and winning a national championship, Clark, then the recruiting that's already at this level is just going to go up to this level. Yeah. And then I truly think, I mean, it's not going to happen every year. You can't realistically say Georgia's going to be the next Alabama. How many 6 national championships in the decade? That's unheard of in sports, period. But it's not far-fetched to say that Georgia will – they'll start rolling in. After one, I think they'll roll in 2 or 3 more within the next decade or so.
It's coming. It's
coming, guys. It's the start of it.
Welcome to Row 60. Who we got?
We got Brad Rutherford.
Bradley! Glad to hear from you, man. What you up to?
Hey, we're calling from Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh, in Gamecock territory.
Yeah, we're coming to the game on.
Yo, did you get you some tickets?
We got some tickets.
There we go, brother. I heard that. Good deal. Got the whole family coming in some red and black, right?
Yeah, we're all coming.
Good deal, man. Good deal. Hey, you broke up a little bit. What'd you say, Brandon?
Storm.
Yes, sir.
I think this is the year, man.
I think it is too, Brad. I can't help but get that feeling. And I've thought that and been wrong completely, just been blinded by my red and black just glasses. But this year just feels different, don't it? It feels different.
And you know what? I listen to a lot of the Gamecock radio stations on the way home because there's not much else except when y'all are on.
Right.
But they compare everything they do to Georgia. Like they don't compare themselves to Alabama.
Yep.
Compare it to Georgia. So I think that's when you know you have made it.
That's right, Bradley.
I think we're the standard. I think obviously we're the standard in the East. Right now.
Absolutely.
I mean, truly. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it truly feels like just for the cap to blow off the program is that national championship. It's beating Alabama. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, Brad. This is the first game, the top 10 matchup that I have truly went into watching Georgia football and not had any nerves about. Like, feel really good about. Like, I truly feel like the only way Georgia can lose is if they beat themselves.
They don't not playing
not playing the ball that they are, or some key injuries early in the game, something like that.
Yeah. It is Georgia sports, so we all know what can happen there. I'm watching the Braves.
That's right. Hey, what's the Braves score? Are they going to clinch it tonight, Bradley?
It's 1-0 in the fourth.
One thing, too, about Brad Rutherford, the biggest Atlanta Falcons fan there is out there.
And one heck of a fisherman.
You dang right. That's exactly
Brad,
right.
Didn't you make ESPN one point, like not top 10? Didn't you fall in off a bass boat or something?
Yeah, I did make it not top 10. That's my
But you were on Sports Center.
Yeah.
And the College Bassmasters. You can't get better than that.
The only thing was the butt fumble.
Oh, gosh.
That was the same week as that. I didn't know that. That's great.
Otherwise, you falling into the lake would have been number one.
Oh,
Dang.
my gosh. The Mark Sanchez butt fumble was the same week on the not top 10 that you I did not realize that.
That's tough to top right there.
Oh, man. That's great. But I do. Yes, sir. Hey, go Dogs, Bradley. Go Dogs, man. It was good hearing from you. Holler at us when you're in Athens.
I will say Wake is 4-0, though.
They are. The Deeks are rolling, Bradley.
The best team
they
in
might
the
win the ACC, and I hope they do win the ACC. I hope they beat Clemson.
Wake, Georgia.
Do what?
Wake versus Georgia in the playoffs?
There we go. Hey, I'll be all for it, Bradley. I'll be all for it. All right, we're going. You're going with us if Wake Forest and Georgia are playing in Dallas in the Cotton Bowl.
All right.
So,
See y'all.
all right, Bradley. Appreciate it, brother. Go Dogs.
Keep it up. Go Dogs.
Yes, sir.
Love it.
I love it. Brad Rutherford, great guy. Love that man to death.
Chris
love
Johnson.
that. Great fisherman.
Yep.
Really, I mean.
Chris Johnson making fun of my comment saying we're the standard in the East, in which we are.
The standard, yeah.
We are.
And one thing, too, Clark, touching back what we were talking about, the 2019 defense was elite and might not have really played any just great offenses. And then they got exposed against LSU and that historic offense.
Yeah.
But there is not an offense out there, Clark, and this is something else is leading to my confidence level. There is not an offense out there that was like that 2018 Clemson offense with Trevor Lawrence and ETN, freshman Justin Ross.
Last year's Bama
Mar
team.
Rogers. Last year's Bama teams with all their receivers and Mac Jones, and then, of course, that 2019 LSU team. Name me an offense that's out there that's close to that. There's not. There's not. So that's just not happening in college football this year. So maybe we're seeing that this year is going to be kind of going back in time, as much as some of these people don't like it, that defense wins championships. And we talked about that, in the preview show, that's changed. But this year, it's getting back to the line of scrimmage in the trenches. Who is going to push people around on both sides of the ball the most? And I believe that's who's going to win the football game. And I think you control the line of scrimmage, and that's how it should be.
Right. Yep. I think Kirby understands that we got to strike, defensively on the line. We've got to get some knockback. We've got to get some pushback, and he gets it. I mean, the battle is truly won in the trenches. As big of a cliche as that is.
Because we're going to have to run the football. You cannot. Saturday we're going to have to pound the football. Get back to the old school, the Georgia way, which is running the football and pounding the football and establishing the run and opposing your will. And that's going to be something that has to be done. The last thing you could have. Now, where I will get worried, Clark, is if they do run that traditional 3-3-5 defense with just 3 down linemen and stuff the run with 3 linemen and 3 linebackers, then we're in trouble. We're in trouble. But you have to, once you get them, start pounding them and make them put 4 men on the line, put some more guys up front and in the box, then that's when you could get more to a balanced attack and get them off their feet, throwing the ball downfield and all. But I think their defense had that, what Barry Odom likes to do. And I think if you look back against Texas and Texas A&M, they got a good push with them boys. I mean, it's not a bad defensive line whatsoever. I think they established pressure with just 3 base down linemen. And it's Georgia's offense. Monken can't allow them to stay in that all game with 5 DBs on the field.
Yeah.
Period.
That's true.
Period.
Ryan
run it down their throat, baby.
Yes, Ryan Kiesler said we really need to get a good run game established.
There we go, Ryan. That's what we're talking about, brother. You're right. We do need to pound the football. We have to run the football to get where we want to be, and that starts with good offensive line play. And Matt Luke's got to be pushing these guys, especially the inside guys. We've talked about it. It's not a secret that we need to get a little bit better at the guard position. And I think that's something that's been worked on at practices. I mean, I haven't been there, but I mean, you can always assume that it's going to be there.
All right, getting another caller here. Welcome to Row 60. Who do we got?
This is Dave from Franklin Springs, guys.
Dave,
Dr.
hey,
Dave.
we recognize the voice this time,
That's
Dr.
right.
Phillips.
Yes, sir.
It's one of a kind.
I'm telling you, we love it.
Y'all have got me fired up.
Well, thank you.
You got me fired up. My kids are going to the ball game Saturday.
Good.
Me and Miss Phillips will be watching here at the house. And in preparation tonight, I drove down the street, and what did I eat? I ate a roasted hog joint.
There we go. Let's give Dr. Dave a clap for that. Getting a little barbecue, eating some hog. I love that. Let's go.
Love you, broadcast guys. Keep up the good work. You make us proud here in Franklin County.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Dave. We appreciate that. We appreciate it. Awesome. Love that. Everybody, hey, y'all do eat some pork. Eat some pork the next, until 12 o'clock on Saturday. Yeah. So
not getting paid to say this.
That's
go
great.
down, go get you some Zebs. Go get some
whatever
barbecue.
Your local barbecue establishment. Support them and get some barbecue, man, for the dogs. For the dogs. So.
Adam, let's
go ahead.
Speaking of food, what are we thinking as far as game day? We got to eat something before we go in, but we get college game day in Athens. We're driving out early.
We're gonna go get a ham biscuit.
Boom. Biscuit Express?
Ham biscuit. Yep. Biscuit Express ham biscuit.
Express.
We're going to eat ham.
Yes.
So, concession stands, we're gonna try the popcorn out this go round.
It's got to get better.
It's got to get better. It can't get any worse.
Right.
I mean, it can't get worse. You can't go down.
Yeah.
No, well, you could, but you would be. That would be some. I think there would be some health regulations there. As far as if it gets any worse, that popcorn. I'm telling y'all, it tastes like rubber. Yeah. That one time,
just chewy, like stale. I don't know. Come on, UGA concessions.
Clark, do you think Burks, their big wide receiver, and KJ Jefferson, word this week they've been a little bit banged up. I tell you what, KJ Jefferson comes in there with a little limp. God bless him. Might not be a good day.
It's going to be a long day for him.
This front. What I feel good about, man, is when I've said this, and I've said stuff like this before since I was a little kid talking about Georgia football, because I love buying into the Dogs, probably unreasonably buying into the Dogs. But now when I say it, it's realistic.
Yeah,
like, it really is legit. You feel, I mean, this is what it feels like to be a fan of an elite college football team. And I don't think people, and maybe, am I over the top with thinking that this is a different year? This team is different. Am I over the top with thinking, Clark?
No, you're not.
And I'm about to go off the rails. You're going to have to pull me back.
No, I mean,
that we are where is this like what we've been waiting on as a Georgian fan? I got to get my microphone straight.
It is. I think we're about to hit the golden age of the second golden age. The 80s. Great run. But you really think about 17, 19, even 18. You could throw that in an argument. 3 great seasons. Last year, come on. Yeah. But this year, the way we're playing football, and, granted, we haven't played the best offenses. Really, I don't think we've had the best kind of competition. Our strength of schedule up to this point has not been very good. But who's out there, Clark? That's true.
Who's out? I mean, honestly, Alabama. And then you can say always when you go to Jacksonville, it's going to be close. And Dan Mullen's a good. I mean, as much as we don't really care for the guy, he's a great offensive mind. He could scheme guys open. He's a good in-game play caller. Yeah. Even when his script runs out, he could still come up with some good stuff. So my thing is, but who else is out there, man? There isn't anybody else. I mean, you could always slip up. It's college football. We've learned that this year, but. There is not a team when you line up every unit that just brings fear in you.
Yeah. All right, we're getting another caller. Welcome to row 60. Who do we got?
Kirk Dawkins.
Kirk Dawkins. How's it going?
I'm going good. Going good. How about y'all?
Oh, we're doing good. We're doing good. Just getting fired up for some Georgia football and seeing how we're going to do Saturday, brother. I'm jacked. I'm jacked.
I hear you. I think this might be our biggest test yet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree. How you feeling about it? You got a score prediction?
I'm going to go with 42-21, Georgia.
There we go. I love it. I love it. So you think the offense is going to – you think we're going to get some defensive touchdowns in there, or just the offense is just going to just come out firing?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with the defense. Gonna get 2 touchdowns.
Oh yeah, there we go. I like that. A little scoop and score, another pick six.
Yeah.
Yep, pick 6 and scoop and score.
There we go. I love it. I love it. I would love to see that. Oh, KJ, he's limping around. Their quarterback's hurt. A little, he's hobbling a little bit. So you get him close to their goal line, come around the corner with Big Nolan Smith or Adam Anderson, knock that ball loose. Be big.
Happen. That's right.
Be big. Right. Be big. So. Oh, I'm excited.
I haven't been able to listen to the other questions that have came in. So if I ask a question that's already been answered, I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. We'll say it again. We love it.
So I know that Arkansas's got a pretty good offensive line. How's our defensive line going to match up to that offensive line?
I don't think there's any offensive line that's going to be able to block our front side.
I just don't. It's going to be a good measuring stick, though. It will be with this offensive line. Obviously, we know, like you mentioned, they're coached well by Sam Pittman. But as Clark said, this defensive line is so elite. I think Saturday will just show how elite it is with what they do against Arkansas.
I mean, this line, Arkansas's offensive line is very well coached. Obviously,
yeah, they're big, and they got a bunch of transfers. They got 2 Missouri transfers in, a guy from Eastern Illinois, I believe, and Pittman's done a great job. I mean, I thought they were physical last year when his very first game, but they're even more physical of a football team this year.
Yeah.
So I mean, it'll be a game in the trenches, but I just think this Georgia defensive line is so big, so fast, and so deep, and you can just keep guys fresh that I think eventually it might take them a while to get to them, but I think when the floodgates open up, they're going to open up. They're going to open up. So I'm feeling it.
Will this be the
would this be maybe the best offensive line we faced this year?
I think it could.
Yeah.
I think it could. I know Florida's been running the football really well. I'm not sure about their offensive line play, if that's just schemes of getting the ball to different guys and outside different looks by their play calling, or if it is truly their offensive line getting a good push, because they gashed Alabama when they played them in the second half, or Bama's defense line might not be as strong as normal. But it'll definitely be either Arkansas or Florida. So this will be a good litmus test for them. If they come out here, if Georgia gets a push all day and stays in the backfield, and this guy's a mobile quarterback, and as we mentioned, he's a little bit hobbled right now, but if we could contain him and not give him time to get in a rhythm and throw the football, and they not establish a run game, then I think it'd be another game where you see 10 points maybe being scored by them, if that.
Yeah.
If that. So
it's a very real possibility.
I don't know. I would be more realistic in a sense of saying that this might be tough for us. But I'm so bought in to this front seven and the people behind the starters that I truly just don't see, unless there's major injuries that happen, knock on wood, or they just don't get off the bus of it being any different, Clark, than what you think.
Yeah, I pretty much echo all you said.
That's it.
But yeah,
that's a good question though, Kurt. But I agree with. I think it will be the best offensive line we've seen.
Okay. All right, guys, that's all I got. Go Dogs!
Go man, appreciate it, Kurt. Go Dogs! And that's a good point, Clark. I mean, Arkansas, they've always had a good offensive line. I mean, Belima was there. He was a guy that liked to get the big hogs.
Yeah.
And Pittman was there with Belima, and it's always been a historically good offensive front there. And we know how Pittman is as a O-line coach. So it'll be a good test. But man, these guys, when you look at Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter and Devontae White and Nazir Stackhouse,
Nolan Smith. I mean, you can even count those guys on
Walker. Anybody, it's unreal.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
so
good stuff. Man, if our offense can get going,
if our offense somehow gets going, it's going to be the sky's just the limit. The sky's the limit with it.
Yep. Getting another call here. Let's see. All right, welcome to Row 60. Who do we got?
Hey guys, it's Will from Athens. How y'all doing?
Will, good hearing from you, brother. We're doing good. We're doing good on a Thursday night. How about yourself?
I hear you. Getting fired up for this game, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, got two things I want to talk to y'all tonight about.
All right.
First is, we hear a lot about the Nick Saban coaching tree, whether that be Jimbo, Kirby, McElwain when he was at Florida, Kiffin, Sarkisian, about, all these coaches coming from Nick Saban. But I think it's time to start a little talk about the Kirby Smart coaching tree.
That's right.
Given that we got Mel Tucker at 4-0 up at Michigan State. We got Sam Pittman 4-0 over at Arkansas, and both those guys just inherited pretty much dumpster fire of programs.
Yeah, that's right.
At the time.
That's right.
So I think those guys have brought a lot of what Kirby's brought to Georgia, just that composure, physicality, toughness type attitude up to there, and Mel Tucker specifically he inherited a roster that would have made a high school coach cringe. He had to rebuild that with transfers and all that. So I think it's a testament to what Kirby's done is seeing some of the success that these guys have had so early after being at Georgia. And, Dan Lanning's going to be the next guy. I mean, he's going to get a coaching job this year. Right. It's inevitable. And he'll be successful wherever he goes just because of that and being around Georgia. And I hope he is successful. I hope it's not somewhere in the SEC, but, he's going to be the next one. So that was just the first point I wanted to make. Second thing about the game, this game, I don't want to be overconfident, but this game reminds me a lot of the vibe that I got in 2017 when Mississippi State came rolling into town.
Yep.
That whole week, they had just thumped LSU that weekend before. And that whole week, the narrative was, Dan Mullen's back. He's got the new quarterback, Nick Fitzgerald, that Georgia missed on by not recruiting him.
Right.
And I'm not saying that same narrative's going on this week, but, Arkansas is coming off 2 big wins this year, so I think they're getting a lot of respect from the medium, as they should.
Right.
But the talent gap and where these two programs are light years apart.
Yes.
With recruiting, they're not in the same stratosphere, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
As to where the programs are right now. So, and the other thing too that not a lot of people are talking about. This is Arkansas's really first. I mean, this is their first road game.
That's
of
true.
the year.
Yeah, that's true.
right.
That's a good point.
And so, they played in Dallas last week with a neutral site, but that whole stadium, I don't know if y'all watched any of that game, but those upper decks on either side weren't even full. So even then, it's just, I feel like the crowd's going to impact this game a lot more than people think. I think we're definitely going to, cause a couple false starts, maybe a delay game here and there. That can make the difference. That's the difference in your defense getting off the field on third down at 3rd and 2 versus 3rd and 7. I mean, that's a big difference. So,
that's right.
Anyways, looking forward to the game. Appreciate y'all's work on this, and go Dogs.
Will, great analysis there, brother. Before you leave, can you give us a score prediction?
Adam, I honestly thought before I flipped on the podcast earlier today, and I was thinking in my head exactly what you said, 38-13.
Hey, there we go. Great minds think alike, man.
They do. 21-10 at halftime. They kick a field goal in the third. We score 2 touchdowns in the third. We hit a fourth quarter field goal and just run it out on them. So that's the way I'm looking at it.
Love it, man. Love it. Well, wear your red and black this weekend. I know you will, and just get ready for the Dogs, brother.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good night. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Appreciate you too, bro.
Adam, let me ask you this quick. Going back to his question there about Lanning, or his comment rather, about Kirby Smart and Dan Lanning and all these coordinators. If and when Dan Lanning does end up leaving, which is happening. I mean, he's too good of a coordinator not to get a head coaching job somewhere. But when he does, do you think we see Will Muschamp?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, that's why he's brought in because back what Will was talking about, it is unreal what Mel Tucker and Sam Pittman have done. Honestly, you look and people will talk about the biggest surprise or the best coaching jobs, doing less with more and head starts on where they're at in their program. Both coaches are in their second year at dumpster fires, like Will said. And it's Mel Tucker and it's Sam Pittman. It's 1A and 1B with how they've done. And, I mean, they're both left Georgia. And then you even throw Shane Beamer in there, being a guy who was underneath Kirby. So, yes, it's 100% something that we need to be talked about. And Dan Lanning will be the next one. I'll give you another guy, Dale McGee. McGee on the offensive side of the ball.
You hate to lose him.
You hate to lose him, and these are guys who's been with Kirby a long time and great elite recruiters, and also guys who could develop. And that's what Kirby does, and that's what Saban's done. Where he's learned is just the next guy you're going to plug in. Yeah. And I mean, when Mel left, Dan Lanning came, but Will Muschamp. I don't think enough can be said, and where I think we have seen the defensive play be elevated even more. People, yes, he's a special teams coach by title.
He's not.
But people do not and he's done good to it, but people do not understand the impact and the footprint on the defensive play that Will Muschamp has brought to Athens, Georgia.
A lot of great minds on that defensive side of the ball, coordinating those guys and getting them prepared each week. I mean, I have all the trust in the world and Lanning and Kirby and Will and all those guys. So, it's just exciting to see.
Will, yes, I agree. Logan brought up a good point right here. JT Daniels, some rumors of a lat muscle pull.
Where is the lat? Is that right here?
Lat
Where is that?
Where's their lat? Somebody.
Is it back here?
Lat. Show anybody in the crowd. Lat. No, lat's right here, maybe.
Okay.
Lat's right here.
Yeah.
So, Logan brings up a good point that I haven't brought up. There is speculation that we need to put JT in bubble wrap because he tends to have some injuries, but they say it's not – I don't know. I think he'll play, Logan, but, it might not see us just push the ball downfield as much, maybe. That's why it's more important to run the freaking football, get it established.
Yeah. Well, I mean, play action pass, get some bootlegs, take Brock out and get him in the flats and just quick passes. I think that's really the game plan. I'm just speculating.
Yeah, it'll be.
I think that would be the game
I think
plan.
it could be if it is pretty serious. Exactly what we saw against Clemson.
Yeah.
Short little out route, like you said, getting Brock in the flats.
It's not exciting, but I think against a team like Arkansas, it may work a little bit more effectively than Clemson.
Good old Ryan Kiesler coming in with a comment telling us where the lad is.
On
Love
the back
that
that stretches between arms. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that shows. That goes to show how little we know about.
About
human anatomy. I don't know. Oh man.
But yeah, that's a good. And guy. I mean, and we have to keep JT healthy during the season to be where we want to be at. I mean, point blank. Period. Yeah. You're gonna win some football games with other guys, but JT Daniels is going to be the difference in the offense going up here. And performing at that high level and kind of staying respect. I mean, still good, but. His leadership, his command of the field, and I mean, he just looks like he's getting better every week too, and more confident. The guys are just bought into him, and the chemistry.
And do we know if he's 100%? I mean, who knows?
I don't know. I mean, but yeah, they said he's done pulled a lat muscle, and got a little lingering lat. The depth of the secondary concerned you at all with Kimber going out? You get Tyke Smith. I'm excited. All reports indicate that he should be back. Logan, have you heard that Tyke's going to be back from your sources? And tell us. And Darnell Washington, hopefully seeing him. Him and Bowers on the same field.
Could you imagine?
But yeah, it does. I mean, and you're getting into the time of the schedule where everybody's banged up. Everybody's got some dents and some dings and whatnot. So, it's just who's got the most talented guys step in, plug, and play in there. And secondary's already been a position that after last year's season, we were a little bit hesitant about how there was a lack of there, with guys leaving in the portal, going to the draft, graduation, and all that. So Kirby goes out there and gets Kendrick, goes out there and gets Tyke Smith.
Yep.
So,
who's back and ready to go is what Logan
says. That's right.
So that's good.
Seeing him come in is going to be good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He'll play that star position, I would assume.
Yeah.
Kind of rotate there in the secondary. And, that's big in not our offense, our defense, to stop the pass. We got to have a good kind of hybrid, kind of a guy between a linebacker, a safety, and a corner. That's kind of what your star is. And roaming the field, a guy who can cover but also can stop the run on the outside.
Stop the run on the outside with it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So, and he's an All-American. People don't realize he was an All-American at West Virginia.
Yeah.
And the Big 12 there. And
do we ever get word on why he left? Was it? I heard it was something with rent. Like
I don't know. There was some stuff, some speculation. I think but I don't know enough about it to talk about it. But and I couldn't have picked a better place to land in Georgia. So. The secondary, it's something that they're still developing. I think still looking good and getting better. But a team that can throw it downfield. The thing is, though, honestly, it would make me more nervous with any secondary concerns if there is a team with a good enough O-line to give their quarterback time to get comfortable and throw the football.
Yeah.
I don't think there's an offensive line out there that's going to be able to do that, if we're going to be honest.
I mean, and we're going to be tested this week, obviously. I mean, we've already said that with Arkansas. I think we are Arkansas's biggest test, obviously, and I think they are our biggest test. So even more so than Clemson. I'm serious when I say that.
That's right. Somebody call the old show. Let's talk some ball with somebody.
Let's see. Logan said he followed, talking about Tyke here, he followed the DB coach that came to Georgia.
That is right. That boy from West Virginia. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. And like we mentioned in preseason, Adam, that transfer portal was big. Kirby going in and finding these guys, Tyke Smith being one of them, Darion Kendrick being another, and kind of plugging and playing. That's that was needed. We needed that before we started this season. Yeah. So that was big time.
I think Kendrick's been a big pickup.
Yeah. Keely Ringo, I think he's shown some good. Signs that he is going to be a stud. I don't know. No. I think there's room for improvement on this whole football team, but secondary.
Keely's going to be a player. Yeah. You can tell he's going to be a player, no doubt. Very quick, a guy for a freshman, a redshirt freshman coming in, good technique. And I think it's going to be one of those guys that Kirby rides like Kirby did early Richard LeCount.
Yeah.
You remember, very tough on him, very, very hard on him. And then at the end of his tenure, great defensive back who's in the NFL right now. Mm-hmm. So I think that's going to be Ringo. And, it's exciting. So, I mean, we got another we got a cornerback commit the other day. And the more success and the more hype nationally that Georgia gets, the more the floodgates in recruiting are just going to open up.
Yes.
That's going to be great.
Very true.
It's going to be great.
Got another caller here. Welcome to Row 60. Who do we got?
It's Michaela.
Hey, Michaela.
Hey, Michaela. How are you doing? What are you up to tonight?
I'm good. Just working over. I'm baking over here.
I hear you. Well, what do you have for us tonight?
I have a question.
All right.
So, since we don't have any front-running Heisman guys, like any of our offensive guys,
right?
Do we feel like this year we could get a defensive guy in there? Like this is the time.
And the Heisman running?
Yes.
I mean, anything's possible. I don't know
if there was somebody who could do it, it would be a Jordan Davis Heisman campaign for a big defensive lineman.
My personal fave.
Yeah, I mean, there hadn't been a defensive player win the Heisman Trophy since 1997. Was that when Charles Woodson?
I don't know. Somebody's gonna have to fact check us on that one, but.
Is that right? Yeah, 97, I think, is when Charles Woodson. He was a two-way guy.
Yeah.
He played a little receiver, too, kind of like Champ Bailey did for us over here.
I think to have a defensive Heisman, you got to have a guy who scores some points. And unfortunately, Jordan Davis, maybe he gets a pick this season.
The Heisman Trophy's gotten so political in a sense of it being a quarterback and then or a running back or a wideout finally won one for the first time since Desmond Howard did in the early 90s. And then two, they love stats. They love stats, and with the way Kirby does things, like for instance, if you wanted to start a JT Daniels Heisman campaign, JT Daniels would have had to have played off 3 or 4 quarters to pad stats, but his stats aren't going to look as good because he had limited time. He only played 1 quarter. But other guys, some of these high up tempo guys, like I think Matt Corral, I think Lane Kiffin is using somebody like Matt Corral, who is talented. Don't get me wrong. To kind of to build the Ole Miss football brand, Clark, so to speak, is by Corral going out there getting huge numbers, throwing the ball around the yard, and honestly creeping up the Heisman. So people are, getting recognized and trying to make Ole Miss a more national brand. And he knows the importance of showcasing a guy like that as a Heisman to get that media spotlight. Right. Where Kirby, honestly, it's just all about winning. We're not talking about Heisman. I mean, and it is for Ole Miss too. Don't get me wrong on that. But it's just 2 different ways of going throughout things. Kirby's a step ahead, thinking if I'm up 56-0 in the second quarter and JT Daniels tears his ACL, then. That's what the big thing is with that. I don't think you will ever see somebody at Georgia win a Heisman Trophy right now, just simply because of the way I think that's operated.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a quarterback.
That makes sense.
In the future, I think. I mean, there's no way a running back's going to win. In this rotation.
I think they want to be somebody in the spotlight constantly.
Yeah, I think it's going to be somebody like Matt Corral at Ole Miss. If he watch him now, if he goes into Tuscaloosa and does like what Johnny Manziel did in 2012, that won him the Heisman. Now that game was in November,
right?
But that won Johnny Manziel the Heisman that year when he went in Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama. If Corral goes in there and puts good points up on the board, he'll be the front runner. And so there'll be somebody like that. My thoughts, but I mean Jordan Davis. Yeah, let's roll with him.
We need to get some T-shirts made and some big signs or something. Jordan Davis for
Heisman.
Yep.
But yep. But if there was a guy, it'd be him on the defense side of the ball.
Yep, that'd be the one. I think we're just interesting because usually we're so offense heavy, and this year it's been kind of a switch for us.
There we go.
Good point.
There we go.
All right, Michaela. Are you going to game day, Michaela?
I am not going to game day.
Not going to game day. But you are going to the game, though, right?
I am not.
Oh, you're not?
Uh-oh. Hey, you'll have that from time
I'm
to time.
trying to be a good family member, and I have a cousin's birthday then.
There you go.
So I'm trying
to
be
good.
Hey,
that's right. Just gotta keep the family happy.
We'll have it on, though.
There we go.
Yes.
Love it.
It'll be on.
Love it. Love it. Well, we appreciate it, Michaela. Thank you for the call. Thank you for the support.
Thanks for the answer.
Yes. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Michaela, for those who follow us on Instagram, she's the one who makes the just insane cookies. I don't know how people have the
y'all
coordination to put icing on cookies that way.
Good art with that. So y'all go to the Sweet Heifer Bakery and blow up her inbox and
I think
order
she's
some
booked.
cookies.
I think she's booked throughout this.
Yeah, that is right. She is booked.
She's pretty busy.
Right. Yeah.
So
She's but yeah.
And
just go over there and give us a support.
Yeah.
Give us some support.
Well, there's a reason she's busy. She makes great cookies, and they look really cool, too. So.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about that. Who is your Heisman front runner after the month of September?
Here's the thing about it. I don't know if I've watched enough football to give a good answer to this question. Obviously, I watch the Dogs every Saturday, but
somebody. What do y'all think about Cincinnati? Levi, I don't know. That's a good question. We'll get to that after this phone call, Levi.
Welcome to Row 60. Who do we got? Oh, boy, sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? Logan from Athens.
Sorry about
How
that,
are you
Logan.
doing, man? Good to hear from you. Good to hear. Hey, Logan, give us a report right now. What is that? Because you're in Athens currently, correct? And you've been in Athens today, correct? You've been on campus today, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
So
yes,
what's the feel in Athens right now? What kind of a buzz is in there?
Oh, it's a good one. A lot of people are excited. Saw the college game day bus rolling through campus earlier.
Nice.
I mean, everybody's got a pretty good feeling about it.
Oh yeah. Good. That's what I love to hear, man. So you don't think the 12 o'clock noon kickoff is going to hurt anything? The atmosphere looks like it's going to be ramped up, even with a nooner.
I think that the 12 o'clock kickoff is actually going to encourage people more to get out there and get loud and get proud, because they're pretty upset that it's not a night game.
Yeah.
So they're ready to rock and roll.
That's a good point.
They're ready to prove a point.
That's right. I agree, man. I agree. So tell us, Logan, you've called Lad McConkey. This is a guy me and you talked about before, and he said watch out for him. For some of the sources you've heard talk about Lad McConkey. What does Lad McConkey go out there and do last week?
He balled out.
Unbelievable slot guy, didn't he?
I mean, I was kind of, because I've been hearing that, Lad McConkey has been performing really well at practice. And performing at practice is a great thing, but that doesn't necessarily always translate to the field. And then it translates to the field.
Right.
And, I mean, he's got some talent. He's a great route runner, and I've been really impressed with that. I think that's his best attribute.
Right.
That's right. I mean, it's going to be pretty fun to watch him this year.
Yeah,
I think it will, man. He's special. He's a special guy. I think, and you know as well as I do, Logan, a lot of people talked about him and said that, kind of bash wasting Kirby wastes his time going with that guy, saying he might be a possession receiver. Oh, yeah. And then we've seen what he's done after he's caught the football or got the ball handed off to him.
And that's the thing. I mean, Kirby has an eye. I mean, he went after Lad McConkey that wasn't a very highly recruited guy. Jordan Davis,
a 3-star.
A 2 or a 3-star.
Yeah.
3-star. I mean, but
and going to
in some interviews that I've listened to, is Kirby said that Jordan was the best player in that class.
Yeah. And then you get Eric Stokes. He was a 3-star corner that wound up being, a first-round draft pick in Green Bay?
I think it goes to show people how – go ahead, Logan.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, I think it goes to show how good of a job Kirby and company are developing these guys. They're bringing them in and coaching them up. So, I mean, you go from third or 3 stars to first round. That's pretty impressive there. So,
that's right.
That is very. I mean, because Jordan Davis, pending that he keeps playing like he is, and I don't see that he doesn't, is going to be a first round draft pick. So that's going to be twice in just a short tenure that he's going to have 2 3-stars.
Right. That's right. So it is unreal how he is a guy that could get 5 stars in, develop the 5 stars, and then find diamonds in the rough and come in. And they're guys that contribute at very high levels. So you're right. I mean, it's unreal how much of a talent evaluator he is. And I mean, and I think he develops players. Don't you agree? Don't you think that the whole mindset of Kirby's bringing in these 5 stars and not developing them is a little bit just far-fetched?
100%.
Yeah.
And I think that they look at the one example where we had a really highly recruited defensive tackle that didn't even get drafted. And yes, that is something to point out. But
people don't understand with that defensive tackle what other issues that might have been going on.
Yeah, that defensive tackle was incredibly talented, and so.
Hey,
But I think they look at that and that's what they're focused on.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, stuff like that. You're exactly right. So, what do you got for us? Like, what's your thoughts going into the game?
I feel really good about it.
Good.
The only thing that I worry about is our offense, and I know that our offensive line performed really well against Clemson. They only allowed 1 sack and I think 2 quarterback hurries, but they still have kind of yet to find that kind of groove, in my opinion, at least. And Arkansas's defensive line is pretty darn physical.
Yeah.
Right.
So it kind of concerns me a little bit going in there because, I mean, that's a pretty solid bunch they've got. Now, I think our boys are going to handle themselves well, and I really hope that they open up the run game. But it's going to be interesting to see.
Right. It will. It's going to be very interesting to see. Like, I mean, don't you agree? We're going to have to start running the dang football this week.
That is Georgia's bread and butter.
Dang right.
Since 1980.
That's right.
And we just need to stick to it. I mean, that's because when you run the ball, you win games. It's just Georgia's thing.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I agree with everything that was said there, brother. You got a score prediction for us?
I'm going to go a little offbeat here. Say 34-20.
34-20.
It's a little bit closer.
I hear you.
It's a little bit closer.
We're not going to cover the spread, is what you're saying.
I'll take it.
I think there's a good chance for us to cover the spread, but as of right now, I'm going to say that we don't
cover. All right. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I think 18's a high number.
And
18 is a very high number.
So
18
really
and a
19.
half. So yeah, 19
you got to beat them by
points,
19 to cover. So.
You got to beat them by at least 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Like that.
And another field goal. Or safety. We'll
2
take a safety.
touchdowns, yeah. So you have to beat them more than that, something like that. So 3 touchdowns normal to cover. It'd be tough, man, but I don't know. I just got a feeling that we're going to boat race them. I normally don't get these feelings. I got some months in pessimism, Logan, every now and then. But for this particular time, I feel like they're going to just boat race. Might be thinking unrealistic.
Kind of like what you guys were talking about earlier. I mean, I do get Mississippi State vibes from this. I think that this is kind of because I think game day was when I think game day came when Mississippi State played us. I can't remember if they did or not, but we weren't even favored to win the game, I don't believe, and then went out there and just absolutely boat raced them.
Oh yeah.
And I could very easily see that happening this time. I really could.
No, you're right. You're right. That's a good analogy. That you said it. Will said it in the previous call, and it's something we've talked about. That I think that's what it's going to be like. I think it's going to be something similar to that. So, man,
I think the key is to I guess making this game a lot like the Mississippi State game is to set the tone early. Of course, we had the flea flicker in 17. I mean, that I will say that was probably the absolute loudest I've ever heard Sanford Stadium in my entire life. It was rocking. So, that was that a 7 kick or was that a 3:30?
No, it was
7,
more like
right?
It wasn't very late. It was like a 6 o'clock. I mean, the sun was still no time hadn't changed yet, but the sun was coming down.
No, it doesn't change anymore now.
No, I don't anymore. But it didn't. The sun was coming down, and it was a little bit of a night game. So I don't know, man. I don't care. I'm like you. I'm ready to see them just come in, Logan, at 12 o'clock. Let's get rowdy. Let's just go. Let's go. Whoop their tail, and that means Auburn's got a tough night game in Baton Rouge at 9 o'clock Central Time. Well, no, excuse me. Yeah, 9 o'clock Central Time. So go in there. 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Central Time. Yes. I got to get my time zones right. But anyway, go in. So they're going to have a tough physical game late in the Saturday night, and our boys hopefully take care of business, get them rested, and be back at the house because they're playing in Athens. So, you take any little advantage you can get, right?
That's true.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be huge. But the thing that I'm most looking forward for the Arkansas-Georgia game is Todd Monken versus Barry Odom, because I think that those are 2 brilliant people, respectively, on their sides of the ball.
I'd agree.
I think that's going to be a little bit of a chess match there. I'm really excited to see that.
Yeah. I am too. Like, I'm really to see how they attack this Missouri defensive scheme that they have, and I'll just go back. I can't keep saying it, but I really think to be as successful as we want to do and control time of possession and to control the game on the offense side of the ball, the run game is going to have to be more than it has been. So.
Oh yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, it is.
We'll see.
Logan, where are you going to be at Saturday? You going to the game?
I am unfortunately not going to the game. Tickets were far too expensive, and I was not blessed with student tickets. So I will be watching from the comfort of my living room.
Hey, there you go.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. I know you'll be loud and rowdy for them.
Oh, I'll be loud and rowdy.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, as always, Logan, we appreciate the intellectual report that you give us.
Yes.
And the support for the show, brother.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good night. And go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Good.
Logan's a big time contributor. He calls in on call-in shows. He
I love
likes
that.
stuff.
I love that. I mean, he's one of those guys
so.
that digs deep.
Yeah.
Digs deep into it, gets some good info. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Like he said, he
just
called,
like-minded people.
Yep. He called
like everybody is in here, our family.
Right.
Row 60 family. Everybody.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Clark.
I know you're good. You're good. Let's see. James Cook will have a big game this week. I hope so.
Chase, I heard that, brother.
Zeus, we need them all. We need them all. I don't think
Yeah.
one guy needs to carry it more than the others, but maybe, hey, well, let's get James Cook out in the flats. Let's get him.
See them all.
Getting another call. This one, oh boy. Here we go. This ought to be interesting, people. Welcome to Row 60, Chris. You need no introduction. How's it going?
You know I am calling to bring some facts tonight.
Bring them. Give them to us, Chris. What kind of facts you got on hand for us?
Well, I took some notes today, but more importantly, the last couple of callers, the last guy that was just on, he was talking about Ladd McConkey.
Yeah.
And you were talking about Georgia fans were saying he's a possession receiver.
Yeah.
Did they not remember Clemson with Hunter Renfrow just murdering teams with a possession receiver?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I mean, I think he's very similar, definitely a similar body build to what Renfrow was, and some guy that can do something with the football besides just catch the ball, get you some yards after catch, and I think that's what we got, McConkey.
Yeah.
I think he fits kind of that same mold.
Yeah.
All right.
I like to think of myself as a Ladd McConkey in high school. I was just a possession receiver. Now, I didn't get yards. I didn't get the end around and go for the touchdown. But dadgummit, if you threw me the football, I was going to catch it. I was going to run a good route. But that's all I had. I didn't have any speed.
High school football.
I didn't have any speed. But, yeah, McConkey, he's done real good. So
yeah.
Yeah, we all got stories. And there's the guy that called a couple of callers back. He was talking about the coaching tree, Kirby's coaching tree.
Yes.
I agree. I think the more important thing that Mel Tucker did was the job that he was doing in Colorado before he left to go to Michigan State. Michigan State's roster really wasn't horrible. I mean, it's always good for third and a little bit under Penn State in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a horrible roster. It's not Georgia, but it's not a horrible roster for what they play. And I think the conversation for coaching trees, I think it's still a little too immature. Kirby's only in the 7th year at Georgia, so I think you're still a couple more years away from saying his influence over the longevity of coaches in his program to move on and be successful versus where those coaches came from prior to them coming to Kirby.
That's true. That's true.
But that was a couple of them, and everybody's talking about Georgia this, Georgia that, Georgia everything. And no one's talking about this stat, which I caught a glimpse of on the broadcast. I was watching the game last weekend. And no one's talking about this. It's probably the most important stat that, it stands out when you go back and look through everything. JT Daniels on third down is 16 of 18 for 152.
Dang.
That's 90%. That's 90%. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Wow.
And 11 of those passes were for first downs.
Wow.
And five of those passes went for 15 plus yards.
Dang, I had no idea about
Look
that.
at Chris coming in.
That's some hard-hitting facts. I love
Chris is the most knowledgeable. He's more knowledgeable than us.
I'm telling you.
I couldn't have
given it to
dug
us,
that fact out of the ground. So.
Well, when you watch football a certain way, and by researching and watching it, not by what the football is doing versus how the game is being played, you learn to watch for things that stick out.
Right.
Yeah. I gamble a lot, so I saw there's a stat line somewhere where somebody had 3 carries for 46 yards or something like that, but they weren't giving him any carries, and
Yeah.
Right.
I keep hearing people talk about how good Arkansas is. Like, on what meter are we saying that Arkansas is any good?
Yeah.
That's true.
They beat Rice. Who was 1-3, and they were tied with 11 minutes to go with Rice, 17-17 in the fourth quarter.
That's right. That's right.
So, I mean, yes, they beat up on Texas. Texas was starting a true freshman quarterback.
Yep.
Second start. And then Texas A&M was starting Calzada last week. It was his second ever start.
Yeah.
And the game with Texas A&M hit on 2 long plays that went for touchdowns in the first quarter. Besides that, it was an even game. I keep hearing about how they just out-physical Texas A&M. They didn't do any of that. They scored 2, like an 87-yard play and like a 50-yard play, 2 touchdowns to close the game open in the first quarter.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, I mean, I don't know where we stand there. And, I mean, honestly, I don't see why Arkansas is ranked number 8. They should probably be somewhere around 15 or 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I bet Georgia to cover the 18 and a half. I bet Georgia to cover the first half. I bet Georgia to cover the first quarter. I got Georgia boat racing. Literally boat racing. Probably, let me go 33-10.
Dang.
33-10.
Hey, I'll take that.
Love it. Love it, Chris. I agree. On all points, I agree 100% that I don't think this game's going to be close. I might eat crow, but I don't see how it's going to be.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, I'm not even a Georgia fan. Like I listen because I'm friends with Clark, but
right.
Like, I don't give a crap about Georgia. I just love college football.
Yeah.
A couple points I'm going to make here in a second that I think needs to be said. The first point: can we get rid of polls and rankings until October 1st?
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Please,
I agree. Like Chris, do you really should Clemson be ranked 25th with 2 losses? I mean, really? Do you think that's fair?
I don't think so. But do we look at some of the teams above them and say, we think Coastal Carolina can beat Clemson? Like
that's true.
Clemson might have to, but like, do you really? The person I follow that makes the most sense about this is the guy Josh Pate. He works for 24/7,
Oh yeah.
and like he doesn't do like a ranking, just like the power poll. Like if you.
Chris, you there? Chris,
Hello.
I think we lost you, man.
Chris,
who would beat who? Analytics, which team would beat which?
We missed about half of what you said.
We heard the analytics of which team would beat which, and I agree with that. It needs to be that I agree. We need to look at that more so than, because I think that there's too much in college football, and obviously bias to the blue bloods or to the past of what they did years before, instead of just focusing and dialing in on what team has what in this particular calendar year.
Yeah.
And not what they did last year or the year before last.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think you get a little bit of, what's the word, right? A little bit of leeway to, like Clemson, like they're ranked to be fifth. Like, maybe they shouldn't be ranked, but you know what? They've shown over the last 10 years, and I showed Clark a stat a couple weeks ago. Clemson has lost back-to-back games in like 10 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow. Literally.
So, Chris, talking about
that's how good Clemson.
Yeah, they're good. Chris, what do you think about a lot of people saying, including Paul Feinbaum, they're saying Clemson's dynasty is over. And when I hear that, it reminds me of –
It gives me a warm and fuzzy feeling inside is when I hear that.
Yeah, well,
go
I don't know, though, Adam.
Go ahead.
When I hear that, it reminds me of when people said, oh, well, Nick Saban's career's done, the dynasty is over, when they played out in the national championship against Clemson a couple years ago. Got absolutely shellacked, right? But – I think people are a little – it's a knee-jerk reaction. It's a very hot take. Look, I hate Clemson more than anybody on the face of the planet, but you gotta call a spade a spade. They have a good football team. Even if they're not playing great right now, they've shown they've been tested by some of the best. Now, not necessarily in the regular season, but, playoff postseason. So, Chris, what do you think about Clemson and those rumors that, maybe this is the time that Dabo's done?
you ever heard Paul Feinbaum say anything nice about any
No.
Have you ever heard Paul Feinbaum say anything good about anybody that challenges Alabama?
Yeah.
No. But I mean, it's not. Well, it's not just him. It's really not. I'm hearing chatter amongst I think are some probably uneducated football fans. Some, not all, but there's some people I think that are making that statement. I just don't agree with it. I really don't. But Adam, what do you think?
No. I mean, I think this is going to obviously it's killing their playoff streak. And I don't think – and how are we going to label – is it killing the Clemson dynasty? Killing it by they're never going to make the college football playoffs again, or killing it that they're not going to go make it 5 years or 6 years in a row again?
Yeah.
I think they'll make it again, but I think this will be a start where I don't think that they're going to regain footing next year. And, I mean, they might make the playoffs, but I don't think that'll make another run of 5 years after that. I don't think they'll go 10 out of 11 years, as far as it was the last 6 years and then the half a decade from now too. I think it's going to go back where you might see them make it every one out of 5 years or so, maybe 3 or 4. I just think I think that a lot of problems at Clemson have been covered up by generational quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson. I mean, you think about, and it could be this. I don't know. I don't think he's better than this, but this is just a hypothetical playing devil's advocate. Could it mean that Dabo is a Gene Chizik that's just had a Cam Newton for 8 years in a row now, or for 8 years now?
What do you think, Chris?
That's ridiculous. Clemson was dead and nothing before Dabo got there. Remember when Dabo took it over? Like, Clemson was not good.
Yeah.
They were not good at all. Like, they weren't a power. They were nothing. And he built Clemson into a power.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, literally into a power. And you could say, like, think about what Clemson has lost, like, in the running back, running back position. Like, even though I'm not a fan of what they've done long-term with that position, but Etienne was great. He's not going to, transfer to the NFL, but that's okay. And the Shipley kid, I'm not sold that he's going to be very good. Now he's out injured. But look at what they did on defense. Like, they literally have first-round draft picks all around the NFL of what they've had on defense from Kevin. Like, those dudes, like, they've had legit players there that are legitimately good. Like, I don't think Dabo is going anywhere. I think what Dabo needs to do, and people don't know this because they don't follow the recruiting and how programs are built, Dabo doesn't take good college transfers. And he doesn't take people out of the transfer portal.
Yeah.
He only brings players in that he recruits and he brings them. And this is to be said about Dabo. He brings high-quality players there, like high IQ football players. He doesn't take the questionable kids that might go to jail. He takes the good guys, and he builds their program that way. And their program is built. Everybody's been here from the beginning. I think that when you, like, say DJ right now, say he ends up being a JT Daniels and not a Trevor Lawrence. Well, when you're not Trevor Lawrence and you end up being a JT Daniels, all of a sudden those 3-point games, you're no longer winning them anymore because you have a guy that's not as dominant as the guy before him. And you miss on that and the left tackle, then all of a sudden your season is shot.
Yeah.
That's true.
So where do you think Clemson goes from here? I mean, do they even beat Boston College tomorrow? I mean, you know the ACC better than we do because you are a Miami fan. But how do you think their season pans out?
I don't think they're done losing. Honestly, I don't think they're done.
Yeah.
But I think it's like that for a lot of teams. I think Ohio State's going to lose. I think Oklahoma's going to lose. I think Penn State is probably the best shot out of the Big Ten right now.
Wow.
I think Iowa's going to lose to Maryland tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Tua's brother, whatever his name is, he's playing really good at quarterback in Maryland. So they're going to play. They might knock off Iowa tomorrow. There's a lot of teams that I don't know what the reasoning is, but there's a lot of comeback to center for a lot of teams that I don't know if the quality of football is up or down, but there's a couple teams that are separated from each other. Alabama, Georgia, it appears to be, and I'll push back on Georgia. Like, Georgia hasn't played anybody.
Yeah.
Their best win is a win against Georgia, a win against Clemson that barely beat Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's the best win.
Well, Chris, let me ask you too. Last one of the last questions here. Do you think that Georgia? I mean, because we've said it on the podcast. Do you think Georgia kind of crushed Clemson's spirits, or do you think it's more Clemson's just not that good? Because it has to be one or the other. So, but what do you think?
Well, I mean, I know I put you in these. It has to be one or the other situations, but I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I hear the comment, Georgia crushed Clemson's spirit. They lost by a 50-yard or a 70-yard pick six.
Well, I mean, all right, but to that point, hold up. But to that point, I mean, Alabama beat us on a second 26 play. You know, one play changes the game, but that's the difference between a championship team and not.
Yeah, but crushing you don't get your spirit crushed by a pick six. You get your
let's rephrase that. The offensive spirit.
Yeah, Georgia didn't run for 400 yards and put up 60 points.
Yeah.
And say, we can't compete with these guys.
Yeah.
They had a pick six for a touchdown. That's all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, things definitely aren't going well at Clemson, and DJ is not anything close to what he should be if you're going to take over a program that's at that level.
Right.
That's not good at all. So, I mean, I don't think they crushed him, but Clemson ain't going to lose him. I'll tell you that much. They might lose to Boston College this weekend. They'll be one of the many upsets this week. I think Boston College is beating them. I think Auburn's beating LSU. I think Mississippi State's beating Texas A&M. I think Maryland's beating Iowa. There's full of upsets this week.
Wow. Have you put money on all these games?
I put money on a lot of games.
Oh, man.
Including $50 on JT Daniels at 30-1 to win the Heisman. So.
Dang. Well,
there we go.
I mean, if you lose that, you're $50 out. Yeah, whatever.
That's right.
All right, Chris. Well,
Chris, we appreciate the insight, brother.
All right, man. You guys have a good one. Talk to you later.
Yes, sir. You too. Bye. Levi asked this right here. Always good call from Chris. But Levi Thomas asked this right here. What do we think about the Cincinnati Notre Dame game? Levi, this is a very sneaky good game right here in the sense of I believe whoever wins this game is put themselves in good position to make it the playoffs. Yeah. Get the fourth spot. Well, how we've seen that the ACC is not going to have anybody go this year. The Pac-12, if Oregon runs the table, they'll get in. The Big Ten, I don't know.
Iowa,
Penn State. If Ohio State comes out strong because Ohio State jumps up, or they're two teams. So I think to me, it's in Notre Dame. Notre Dame, I think, has won every single way possible you could win this year, have been undefeated by coming back, almost getting beat coming back, pulling away from somebody. So, and then hanging around with a MAC team.
Yeah. Well, and Adam, it all boils down to this. Championship teams are different from non-championship teams because they win football games. So, I mean, and that's what we can apply to us or any team in football. Do you win or do you not? And that's just bottom line.
That's right.
If Notre Dame's a legit contender, they're going to prove that tomorrow.
Yeah.
If Cincinnati is a contender, they'll show that tomorrow.
They're going to talk Saturday. But, I'm going with Notre Dame, Levi. I think Notre Dame and Brian Kelly, the experience of Brian Kelly, they're going to win. But they might not. I'll be honest. I have not watched either one of these teams play football.
Right, and it's hard for us, too, because we're always just so invested with the Dogs. And we only get to see bits and pieces of teams play. So what we're basing our, or at least
need to go back and watch film.
Yes, we need
to go back and watch film to do this the way it needs to be done.
Yeah.
Who do you think, Levi?
Yeah, Levi, or anybody for that matter.
Yeah,
who do you like in the Cincinnati Notre Dame game? Yeah. Because Adam, as you said, it could potentially be a play-in game.
That's right. Kurt wanted to hear. He was a few comments up.
All right.
Kurt Dawkins wanted to know an Alabama Ole Miss score. I tell you, anybody with a brain, you think you can't pick against Alabama and Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
But I picked Alabama when we recorded the show.
Right. Adam.
I still am going to go with Alabama.
Okay.
With the tune of 51-44.
Good gosh almighty. That'd be a barn burner right there.
51-44. Oh, maybe not 50. Let me change that. 45-38. 45-38.
Okay. All right. I like that. I could see. I just don't think even as good as Matt Corral may seem, I don't even know if Alabama's going to give up that much. I'm going to go more along the lines of 48 to 20. I don't know.
Who was telling me this? Were you telling me this that last year there
may have
potentially been some things going on that possibly Kiffin knew what kind of play call the Alabama defense was
That's
going
just
to.
lawyer speak.
That's speculation.
That's just speculation.
That's
people.
speculation. I don't know.
And if that's true, then tomorrow they're going to get smacked.
Oh, yeah. Ole Miss. Saturday they're going to get smacked.
Gosh, I keep saying tomorrow.
I wish it was Friday night. We want it so bad. But no, I don't
man.
know. I don't know. I really don't have a clue. I honestly, I don't know. Obviously, I want Ole Miss to win.
Ron Kiesler says Ole Miss takes Bama 35-28.
Calling the upset. I like that. That's bold, brother. That's bold. Call the whole upset there.
Yeah. Somebody's got to be on upset alert. Once a week.
Yeah.
Last week it was Clemson.
Notre Dame's looked shaky in their first few games. What's Levi's talking about? Yeah, you're right, Levi. They have, and I mean honestly, I know they killed Wisconsin last week, but that game was
how good is
closer than the
Wisconsin?
score indicated. Yeah. Wisconsin's already a 2-loss football team. They're 2-2, right? Or 1 I don't know, 2-2 probably.
I think they're
but there is no potential playoff gauntlet that Georgia can get into that scares me at all. Because let's think. Let's play some hypothetical. I love a good hypothetical scenario.
Hey, wait, right quick. Give us your top 4 teams. Who you think's going to be in the playoff
right now?
No, yeah, well,
anybody. Mine would be at this point, since we are a third of the season over with. Dang, the season just needs to slow down.
I
know. The third of the season over with. We need. I think it's going to be Georgia. Oregon.
Okay.
Oklahoma.
Okay.
And Notre Dame.
Wow. No Bama.
No Bama. I think Bama could potentially get beat in the regular season.
By who, though?
Ole Miss, maybe.
Ole Miss. But, I mean, other than that.
Next week it can change. Next week it can change because – but then I don't know. And then I think Ole Miss will lose 2 games just stupidly in the SEC. Then Bama will go to the SEC championship.
Right.
Georgia will win the SEC championship, and Bama won't be in there. But if Ole Miss beats Alabama, scrap it. There's Alabama's back in it, but
there's a lot that could change in just these next 2 weeks.
I picked Alabama to win, but then I picked them not to be in the playoff because I don't know. I don't have a clue.
I mean, if I had to guess, it's going to be Bama, Georgia, and I want to say Oklahoma is actually going to get it together. That's what I want to say. Now they've looked awful. I mean, for what I guess we hyped them up to be. But and then maybe Oregon.
I
don't know.
Levi's calling Georgia, Oregon, Ole Miss, and Cincinnati. Ooh, that would be
Cincinnati, interesting.
Ole Miss, I mean, you got to remember, if Ole Miss does beat Alabama, then they're poised to make a run. What if they go undefeated and it's undefeated Georgia, undefeated Ole Miss? Both of them get in, right?
Yeah. And then you got a 1-loss Alabama team who's still probably going to be a good team.
Could be.
Getting
another call.
Getting another call. Welcome to Row 60. Who do we got?
Hey, this is Russell.
Russell
Dye.
Russell Dye. How you doing, brother? It's good to hear you. Hey, is your heart a little bit torn going into this week?
It's a tough one tomorrow, Adam. For all the, I think, 11 listeners out there right now. They don't know, but I went to
16, Russell.
Hey, we got 5 on YouTube.
Yeah. 5 on YouTube. 21.
For the 21 people. Yeah, I grew up in Arkansas. Went to Georgia for college, and went back to Arkansas for law school.
You did.
But Adam, I think the Dogs are gonna beat the hell out of the Hogs on Saturday. I really do. I don't think it's gonna be close, Adam. I don't think it's gonna be close. It's gonna come down. It's gonna come down to can the Georgia secondary stop Treylon Burks and slow down those Arkansas receivers.
Yep.
And if they can, we're gonna win.
There you go.
It'll be all right.
I love it. So that means you're going to have on red and black with a G on your chest, right? Saturday.
That's right, Adam. I got my Run the Damn Ball hat packed right now. Packing up. Leaving D.C. tomorrow.
Leaving D.C. tomorrow. Good.
And I will see you Saturday.
Good. You better holler at me. We're going to get rowdy for the Dogs. Get excited. Appreciate your support.
Kickoff. Got to be loud.
That's right.
All right, Adam. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Appreciate it. We'll see you, brother.
Old Russell Dye.
That's a good guy right there. Yes. I love old Russ. He's a very, very, very smart individual.
Yep.
law school graduate from Arkansas, is working in D.C. right now.
Dang, that's impressive right there.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Let's see, a couple more comments.
Hating this. Georgia, Alabama, Oregon, and Iowa. The old Hawkeyes slipping in there. Yeah. I tell you, it's just going to be fun to watch because I don't know what's going to happen.
I know.
And anybody who does is lying.
Yeah.
They don't know.
They don't.
Nobody knows.
Don't trust anybody that says they know what's about to happen.
All I know is I feel I feel really good Georgia's going to be there, by gosh.
I do too.
I might be pumping too much sunshine right now.
You know.
But, hey, if we're going to pump something, we're going to pump it.
Yep.
We're going to pump it.
We're used to getting our hearts broken anyway, so, you know.
And it's not happening this year. It's going to be the first undefeated regular season in Georgia football since 1982. Book it.
I mean, really, you get past the next 4 games, it's looking like that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, really.
This is the deal. All right, the schedule right now, how we got it broke up, is like a big chocolate pie. And there's 3 pieces slices of this chocolate pie to eat. We just mauled the first piece of chocolate pie.
Yes.
The second one is probably going to be the hardest one to get down. A little bit more crustier, a little bit more dry.
Yeah.
But if we get that second piece down, then you're good. Your appetite's up and running, and we're still hungry. We'll nail that third piece. You got some diabetes. But then you hammer down that third piece of pie, and then when the postseason comes,
you eat another pie. You eat
another pie. Let's come.
Wow, what an analogy there.
Just came to my head. I just thought I needed to share it. Just came to my head. Just starting thinking.
Oh, boy. All right, we're going to keep the line open for, let's do about 10 more minutes. So we'll go to 9:45. So starting to wrap it up here. If you haven't called and want to call us. We want to talk. We want to hear from y'all. Let us know what you think about this season, about the Dogs, about college football in general. Just call us. We want to talk.
Yeah, we want to talk, and we want to hear from you. We want to hear why you love Georgia football, why you think this is going to be the year, or why do you think this isn't going to be the year if you don't think this is going to be. We just want to talk to y'all. And just want everybody else to hear, meet y'all, to hear your voice.
Mm-hmm.
And
hopefully, we got some listeners to our podcast. This week's episode, I think, has about 150 people downloading it on Apple Podcasts, which is good. So we appreciate that.
Yep.
Once again, y'all's support is awesome.
Yeah,
we're doing this from the bottom of our hearts. We just love talking ball.
In my case, is just rambling about Georgia football and Clark keeping me on the tracks, not just go off just complete ramble. It's just good for me to get in front of a microphone and just ramble. Well, and not really know what come out of my mouth or if it makes any sense or not. I try to use big words. I don't know if the meaning of the big words is appropriate, but I just throw them out there anyway.
Yeah. And hopefully
they make sense.
Yeah. Well, we try to talk to our wives, or at least I do. She doesn't care about football. I should say that.
Chase Drake said it's our year because Adam says. I appreciate that, man. I got a good feeling. This is just a special year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your wife is staring a hole through you right now.
Let me rephrase that. Caitlin loves football. I shouldn't say that. She just, I guess when it comes down to the
Clark?
Monday through Friday, she doesn't really seem to care as much.
Tell them the key to marriage with you that, Caitlin's a trooper going to these football games. So what did you go see at the Fox Theater the other weekend?
I went to go see Hamilton. I bought us tickets.
Play.
She's saying one time I've taken her. I need to get better about taking her to the Fox Theater. Yeah. Well, that's what you do. That's what you do in the off season.
You go endure some Hamilton, baby.
Yeah. Hey, it was good. I got to admit, that was pretty good. Hamilton at the Fox Theater. That was fun, man.
That's good. That's good.
I saw driving into. Speaking of Atlanta, I saw the dome, not the dome, the Benz. I saw the Benz off in the distance.
We're going to be there.
I got goosebumps, man. And I saw we rode by Georgia Tech. That just godforsaken place. The joke by Coke.
The North Avenue Trade School.
Yes, and it's just a dumpster, man. I can't stand that place. I'm sorry. The graduates from there are making more money than we probably ever will, but that's fine. You know what? We'll take the wins. I love my life, so that's all they have on us.
I love football.
Yeah, I love football exactly. So, oh man, Adam,
man, I'm excited because I just think everybody just needs to sit back, though, and really, really enjoy these next few weeks because I think this is going to be a season of Georgia football you're going to tell your grandchildren about.
I hope so.
That you were alive during the 2021 Georgia football run.
Yeah.
The first of many that was strung together by Hall of Fame coach Kirby Smart. Yeah. So I'm just saying everybody, we wait so long for football to come. And then we start speculating. When are we going to be in the playoffs? What's the Florida game going to be like? Enjoy it week by week, folks. Yeah. Anytime you get a chance, and I know we all live busy lives, and a lot of people have children with activities, or we got work, other stuff going on outside of our extracurricular activities. Anytime you get a chance to watch a college football game, sit there and watch it, man, and enjoy it, because it's a sport we love and we don't get, and it just flies by when it gets here. So we're not going to waste it away, especially this year, because anytime I watch a college football game now, I realize how far separated this Georgia team is from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, it's exciting, man. Oh, just, and I think, I don't know about you, but I saw this coming in 2017. I really did think Kirby was our guy from the get-go. Yeah. And there's coaches you say, yes, this is our guy, and there's coaches you haven't. One of the guys I said that never was going to pan out was Jeremy Pruitt. I did get that right. I've been wrong about some others, but my point is Kirby, it's just amazing to see what he's done in these first, 5 seasons?
Oh, it is.
6?
It is.
5? Something like that. No, 6. But he's turned it around. I mean, we've come a long way from beating Nicholls State 26-14 in 2016. You remember that?
No, it was terrible. Yeah.
But even then, you just knew it was going to get better. It was going to get better. It was going to get better. And
Kirby's
got his guys. It's not like a 17 team where he inherited, or a 16 team where he just inherited all these other recruits. It's his guys. He's ready. I just don't see how we lose. I really don't.
I don't. I mean, this is what has been built up for, the depth of this roster and just the playmakers out there. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Somebody holler at us, man.
Yeah, come
give
on
us
now.
A call.
All right, we're staying on for, let's see,
10 more minutes.
Let's go. Yeah, 5. Let's do
5 more minutes.
5 more minutes.
All right.
So last call, literally. If you want to call, it's probably going to be the last call.
We got another call.
Here we go. All right, welcome to Road 60. Who do we got?
Hey guys, y'all got Mitch Johnson here in Decatur, Georgia. How y'all doing?
Oh, doing good. How you doing, man? Good hearing from you tonight.
Go Dogs, man. Y'all ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's gonna be good. I'm telling you. I'm fired up. Fired up.
I'm gonna get to my question. This the first. I'm first time caller, man. I'm a little nervous.
Hey, no, we love it. We love it. Starting off great.
How y'all feeling about Kirby stopping a mobile quarterback? He's had some fits with that in the past.
Right. Oh yeah. It goes back to his days at Alabama, that Ohio State team that lit up him and Saban in the Sugar Bowl in 14.
Yeah.
With Cardell Jones, and that always kind of been the kryptonite.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. I feel like now the type of guys I feel like Kirby had at Alabama on the defensive front were big maulers, in a sense of they were just big, just guys who could stop the gap, hefty, and really weren't mobile. But now, and same way with linebackers, I think their linebackers just big gap stoppers, run stoppers, and I think from the defensive line to the second level linebacker play, these are the quickest guys that he's ever had that I think can get out to the outside of the perimeter and can contain a quarterback a whole lot more with these type of guys he's recruited that are just freaks because they're big and they're physical, but they can fly the football too. So I think the difference now and where we've seen, and even with Georgia might not have had those athletes, is the athletes that Kirby has in these front 7, Clark. And you go ahead and answer that. I think that we won't see it. I mean, I agree. It's a concern. Is definitely what's beat Kirby and Saban's defense when they have been beaten. Is quarterbacks like that. You're exactly right. But this year just feels different with this front. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to come out with a lot of RPOs and really try to attack us in a lot of different ways, Arkansas. And, I think they're going to come out firing in the first quarter. And there's going to be some Georgia football fans sweating bullets towards the end of the half. But, I think you're right, Adam. There's a lot of speed on this defensive line, defensive line, but also our linebackers.
Yeah.
I mean, God, you look at a guy like Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unreal. He's got so much speed, so that's why I'm not necessarily concerned this week. Maybe in the future. I don't know who else we're going to see. We may see Emory Jones, and that's obviously a game we don't want to look past as well. But focusing on this week, I think we're going to be okay.
And I think our guys, too, Vanderbilt's second-string quarterback they brought in. Their other option at quarterback was an elusive guy. So the defense really got some work against him last week.
Right.
There was some times, you're right, he broke containment. He got out of the pocket and scrambled and got some good chunky yardage. So I think this week.
So let me ask y'all this.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you good.
This kind of goes hand in glove with this.
I know y'all got the inside track on a lot of this stuff. Is the Arkansas quarterback hurt? Is he going to start? There's some speculation he banged up.
Oh, yes, sir. I tell you, I don't have any insight on that, but from everything I've read and heard is that he'll probably go, but he is banged up. I actually think they release, and Kirby would have a fit if this happened in Athens, but that's just the difference in the cap he keeps on the program and other places. But there was actually video footage of K.J. Jefferson this week at Arkansas's practice, and he was in a I don't know, I don't know if it was a brace or whatever his injury was. He looked like he was limping.
You saw a video of it?
Yes, there was a video of it.
Sam Pittman is going to like a coach's film.
Like
somebody's
there was
fired.
Media member, a media member that
can't be legally obtained.
I see.
I'm telling you,
I see.
Crazy.
Okay, that'd be different if that were in house and something like that happened. Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think he is a little bit dinged up. I do not think he will be at 100% Saturday, from everything I've read and heard.
Well, I hope we put him on his tail more than he wants.
Yes, sir. I think so. I think so. I think we are, man. I'm excited. Like I said before, I just don't think that I could eat Major Crow, and I'll come back next week and eat it, as painful as it'll be. But I just don't think this one's going to be close. I really don't, man.
What do you think?
Roll.
I think we got him. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think we got him. I think it's going to be closer than we think for a while. That we're going to pull it out in the fourth quarter.
Right.
I think they're going to hang with us a little bit. I don't know if they can contain us at all. I mean, we might just run off and leave them. But they've already whooped a bunch of good teams already. So
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. So
be good.
Well, we appreciate,
fellas. Well, I appreciate it, man. We appreciate y'all being out there, man.
Oh, we appreciate the support. Great first call. Great first call. Loved it.
We'll look forward to hearing from you
again. Yes, keep on dialing
Absolutely.
in. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Go Dogs.
All right, y'all take it easy, fellas. Go Dogs.
Yes, sir. Go Dogs. Love it, man.
Woo! Oh man.
We have any? We got 5. Man, we got more viewers here at the very tail end.
We'll take
one more call. One more call. We're just too excited to leave everybody. If we have some guys, we got
Our mothers are getting a little impatient, I think. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Our wives are fine.
Our wives.
Everybody else is all.
Yeah. We got a little bit of a crowd here, man.
Look, if we can't leave the people hanging.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
One last call. If you want to be the last one. Oh, Austin Smith, a little trash talk. Gators going to whip some Bulldog butt. We'll get to that one when we see it. We're going to have us a good live call-in show in Jacksonville.
That one's going to be fun.
We're going to do it.
It'll be a different backdrop. We might
do
it on the beach.
We need to do it on the beach.
Yeah.
We need to just go set up in the sand
on the beach
and do it on the beach.
Yes,
if that's even possible. Or getting
another look from your
Caitlin.
wife over there. She's just
very judgmental tonight.
Very hostile.
Not very supportive.
Out of the peanut gallery.
I'm just kidding. Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
All right.
No, I the more Saturday gets here, and the more you think about, just where this program's at now, it just shows more and more that that it's just not this team. Just Arkansas, if you look at where they were before Sam Pittman, there's no way they can make up that much ground to catch this Georgia team right now. So
they need a lot of bad to go wrong.
And what makes me so just confident in the fact too is this Georgia team all year has gotten off the bus and been ready to play. I mean, everybody and knew their job and has gotten off it and executed it and with a focus. And I've never seen a focus out of this Georgia team. You don't hear of any locker room chatter. You could tell everybody's just close with one another. They're all bought in. And I think
they're
that's
supporting
something.
The chemistry.
Other. Yeah,
62-0. I mean, you got guys cheering on each other.
I think Kirby really tried to just buy in more and focus on chemistry this offseason, getting the team more bought in than they are. I mean, I said it on the podcast, but last Saturday going into Vanderbilt with barely 15,000 fans there, a noon kickoff, raining, should have been the time where, focus might not have been there.
Yeah.
Obviously you're going to beat Vanderbilt. You out-talent them. I mean, that's probably the biggest gap I've ever seen talent-wise between two SEC schools.
Yeah.
But they went out there and they did what they were supposed to do. There wasn't no having to wake up in the middle of the first half, the second quarter. They went
and that's stuff we've seen in the past from Georgia teams, and that is promising to see that we.
It is.
We get off the bus and we're ready to play some daggum SEC football.
That's right. So,
all right. Well, let's wrap it up, Adam. Any last thoughts? Any last hoorah you want to give?
I just, like I said, I've never been more confident and with zero nerves going into a top 10 Georgia game. I mean, every time there's always been, I just throw scenarios. I might be confident, but there's always some nerves. There's no nerves, just pure excitement and pure confidence that Georgia's going to roll Saturday. And start this 4-game slate. I think this 4-game slate is important. I think if you go 4-0 starting Saturday.
Yeah.
And you shorten this season to a game at a time for the next 4 games. You get these 4, you have a dang good shot, Clark. Going undefeated for the first time since 1982 in the regular season.
And we'll still have that mulligan if that's the case. Although we don't want to use it at any point. But man.
So these 4 games that start Saturday, and then let's just roll. So, I mean, just keep the momentum going. I think it's going to be something that if they come out there and they play good football and they execute well and get after them, then Saturday night all the talk will be people can't deny Georgia being elite any longer than
at Chris Johnson. I'm just kidding. He didn't say that.
after they beat up on Arkansas, but I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah. All right, well, go Dogs. Thank you for joining us tonight. We do appreciate your support, your calls, everything like that. We'll do one of these, like we said, going into the Jacksonville game. Going to Jacksonville for the Florida game.
Yep.
Probably do it that night, that Friday night or something.
Friday night. We'll do it.
We'll talk about it, and we'll get something scheduled. So that will more than likely be our next one. So thank y'all for joining us. Go Dogs.
It's always fun, as always, Clark. I enjoyed it. Thank y'all for the support.
Yes.
Get loud out there. Wear your red and black to work or school tomorrow, wherever you may be. Just get ready for the Dogs this weekend, and challenge you to wear some Georgia paraphernalia if you can't work tomorrow.
Yeah, let them know.
That's right. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.